Hello everyone. Today we're going to be talking about professional camera movements. Now the reason why we're going to be discussing this is because for your video games, level design, and your portfolio, you're going to be creating quite a bit of camera animations and camera movements. So you need to understand that there's a lot more than just putting a camera on a spline and moving it forward or side to side or whatnot. You need to really dive into professional camera techniques. Different ways to fade a camera, different ways to set up a shot, rule of thirds, all kinds of things. And there's going to be links in the references section for you to go visit and look at different types of camera information. But in this video, I just want to show you and discuss some examples of what you could do inside of UDK and show you the differences between a student version versus a professional version, and show you some mistakes that a lot of students will make as well. So up first, I want to talk about the mistakes. Normally when someone starts out making camera animation, whether it be with actual video cameras or level design or photography type things, whatever it may be, a lot of people tend to move the camera too fast. They'll do something for 10 seconds, but it should really take 100 seconds to really get the picture the way it should be. Since I said 10 seconds, I also want to bring up something else. In a video game, you never want a player to be doing nothing for 10 seconds or more. If you take your favorite game, whether it be Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, whatever it may be, actually count out the beats, count out exactly what you're doing. And I can guarantee you, in less than 10 seconds, constantly throughout the game, you're either shooting somebody, jumping to avoid something, picking up a weapon, messing around in your inventory, moving through menus, saving the game, picking up coins, whatever it may be. There's never a game where you're doing nothing for 10 seconds or more. It's because the players get really bored. If there is one where you're doing nothing for 10 seconds or more, you're either running through a giant environment like in Oblivion, or it's just bad game design. But in those games like Oblivion, where you're running through something for 10 seconds or more, you're actually not. You're actually looking at things that are helping move you and navigate you through the story. But that's a whole other conversation. But again, 10 seconds or more of a player doing nothing is really boring, so try not to do that, even with your camera movements. So another mistake with cameras is that you have too much to see on the screen and not enough time. So if you're trying to show off 35 enemies, plus a really cool building you designed, plus a really cool environment, plus a really cool level, it's just too much for any viewer to take in. So you're definitely going to have to slow down the camera and focus on just what you want to focus on. Another mistake is a lot of strange cinematic movements. Like a lot of people make the cameras flip upside down and do all these weird things. And while they're fun, there's no one in Hollywood that knows what you're doing, right? So it doesn't make any sense. If a professional Hollywood movie director has no clue what you're doing and doesn't like it, then you pretty much shouldn't do it. Because video games nowadays are Hollywood productions, right? You've seen the cinematics in all these games, and there's some crazily amazing stuff going on. So from a level design perspective, a lot of mistakes that students make is that they don't show gameplay. The main reason for somebody looking at your level is to see how players interact. Are they having fun? Is the camera getting cut off by the ceiling? Is there enough room to maneuver while you're shooting people? Whatever it may be, they want to see gameplay in your level. Now, gameplay also adds life to your level. So again, for level designers and game designers, the most important thing is showing the gameplay. Now, another mistake is that a lot of people, the way they set their camera up, they're not showing scale. And this is important for level designers. Level designers need to show scale in their environments. For example, if you have, the Eiffel Tower or some other gigantic structure or character, and you are doing camera movements above them, that object is going to look really small. Whereas if you put the camera down below at their feet, looking up, it's going to look a lot more gigantic and menacing and scary and whatever you're going for, but it's going to look a lot bigger. Another mistake is your camera makes too many movements, or it moves too fast and it makes people sick. And you never want to make people sick or uncomfortable. Another mistake is no polish. I mean, if you just have straight camera movements with no effects, no titles, no text, no fading in and out, no cutscenes, nothing, it's just not finished and polished and professional. And a major one for game design and movies is no sense of emotion or no sense of storytelling. So if you're just flying through your level and you're not really doing anything, the video doesn't feel scary or happy or whatever emotion you're going for, it's not that good. We're trying to tell stories here in an interactive way. So these are some of the common mistakes that you want to try not to do. So I'm going to give you a quick example here. If you look at this video here, this is a video of doing way too much camera movements for the time given. So here you go, take a look, and I'll be back in a few seconds. All right, now, so that's pretty crazy. So let's look at one that's a little bit different. It's just a straight path, it's no big deal, but it's still not giving enough time for the viewer to really take in what they need to do. Okay, now, let's look at what you would call a pro example. This has some fading in, some fading out. It has a couple cameras that are cutting between each other. It's slow enough to give you all the time that you need to see what's in the environment. And, it actually has a little bit of a story. It looks like, there's something coming down from the tree behind you as you walk through the level. So let's take a look, and I'll be back in a few. Okay, so even though there's not much going on in the level and there's, no audio and whatnot, we're just focusing on the cameras. So you can tell the difference. There's a huge difference between the last two and this one. So again, when it comes to camera movements, slow and steady wins the race. You want to use as few cameras as possible, as minimal movement as possible, and you don't want to make people sick or do anything weird. Just stick to the normal, stick to the basics, and do the best you can. All right, thanks for watching.